The Lion and the Mouse Part 2. The Lost Cubs. Once upon a time, in a lush green jungle where the trees touch the sky, there lived two unlikely friends. Leo, the mighty lion with a golden mane, and Mimi, the tiniest mouse with the bravest heart. They had become the best of friends after a grand adventure, proving that true friendship knows no size. One bright morning, as the sun peeked through the leaves, Leo and Mimi were enjoying a peaceful breakfast by the babbling river. Leo munched on some berries, while Mimi nibbled on a crunchy seed. They laughed and chatted, remembering their first meeting. "Oh, Leo," Mimi giggled, her whiskers twitching. "Remember how scared I was when I first saw your big teeth?" Leo chuckled, his deep voice rumbling like thunder. "And I never thought a little mouse could be so brave," he said, gently patting Mimi's head with his giant paw. Their laughter echoed through the jungle, a melody of friendship that made even the flowers smile. But suddenly, a different sound caught their ears. It was faint at first, like a whisper on the wind. "Leo, do you hear that?" Mimi asked, her ears perking up. The lion's ears twitched, and his golden eyes grew wide. "It sounds like crying," he said, his voice filled with concern. Without a word, they both sprang into action. Leo bounded through the forest, his powerful legs carrying him swiftly over fallen logs and through thick bushes. Mimi scampered alongside, her tiny feet moving so fast they were just a blur. As they reached a small clearing, the cries grew louder. There, tangled in a mess of thorny vines, were two little lion cubs. Their fur was matted, and their eyes were wide with fear. "Uncle Leo," one of the cubs cried out, tears streaming down his fuzzy cheeks. Leo's heart ached at the sight. He rushed forward, his mighty roar shaking the leaves on the trees. "Don't worry, little ones, I'll save you," he declared. With all his might, Leo tried to tear the vines apart. His sharp claws slashed at the thorny tendrils, but for every vine he broke, two more seemed to tighten around the cubs. Leo pulled and tugged, but the more he struggled, the more entangled the cubs became. Mimi watched from the sidelines, her tiny heart racing. She saw the worry in Leo's eyes grow with each failed attempt. The mighty lion, usually so strong and brave, looked lost and helpless. "It's no use," Leo said, his voice heavy with defeat. "My strength isn't enough. I can't free them." The cubs whimpered, their hope fading like the setting sun. But then, a small voice piped up. "Don't give up, Leo," Mimi said, her eyes shining with determination. "Sometimes it's not strength that saves the day. Let me try." Leo looked at his tiny friend with surprise. "But Mimi, it's dangerous. The thorns could hurt you." Mimi puffed out her chest, trying to look as brave as she felt inside. "I may be small, but I'm quick and clever. Trust me, Leo." With a deep breath, Mimi scurried towards the tangled mess. The cubs watched with wide eyes as the little mouse disappeared into the vines. They could feel her tiny paws tickling their fur as she moved. "Don't be scared," Mimi's gentle voice came from within the thorny prison. "I'm here to help you. Just stay very still." Carefully, Mimi began to work. Her sharp little teeth nibbled at the vines, cutting through them one by one. She moved swiftly, dodging the sharp thorns with grace. Snap, snap, snap. The sound of breaking vines filled the air. Leo watched in amazement as the tangle of vines began to loosen. The cubs, feeling the grip around them weaken, started to wiggle free. With one final push, they burst out of their thorny cage and tumbled into Leo's waiting paws. "You did it, Mimi," Leo roared with joy, nuzzling the cubs close to his warm mane. "You saved them." Mimi emerged from the vines, looking a bit ruffled but wearing a proud smile. "We did it together, Leo," she said. Your bravery gave me courage." The cubs, now safe and sound, looked at Mimi with wonder. "Thank you, brave little mouse," they said in unison, their eyes shining with gratitude. Leo bent down, bringing his massive face close to Mimi's tiny one. "I tried with all my strength," he said softly, "but it was your courage and cleverness that freed them. You've shown me once again that true strength comes in all sizes." Mimi's whiskers twitched in a smile. "Being small doesn't mean being weak, Leo," she said. "Sometimes the smallest friend carries the biggest bravery." As the sun began to set, painting the sky in beautiful oranges and pinks, Leo and Mimi sat with the cubs, telling them stories of their adventures. The jungle around them seemed to glow with warmth and friendship. "You know what, Mimi?" Leo said, his voice filled with pride. "From today, we are not just friends, we are protectors of the jungle." Side by side, Mimi's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Really? You mean it?" Leo nodded solemnly. "Big or small, strong or tiny, every creature matters. And together, we can help anyone in need." The cubs cheered, bouncing around with joy. Even the birds in the trees seemed to sing a little louder, celebrating this new promise of friendship and bravery. As night fell and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Leo, Mimi, and the cubs curled up together under a big, leafy tree. The jungle had never felt so peaceful, so full of love and hope. And so, the tale of Leo the lion and Mimi the mouse spread throughout the jungle. Animals big and small told the story of how the mightiest and the tiniest became the bravest of friends. They learned that true strength comes not from size or power, but from kindness, courage, and working together. From that day on, whenever an animal in the jungle was in trouble, they knew they could count on Leo and Mimi. The unlikely duo would rush to help, proving that with friendship and teamwork, any problem could be solved. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a soft glow over the sleeping jungle, a gentle breeze rustled through the leaves. It seemed to whisper a special message to all who could hear. "Remember, little ones, no act of kindness is ever too small. For in the heart of every creature, no matter how big or small, lies the power to make a difference." And so, the jungle slept peacefully, dreaming of brave lions and clever mice, of vines broken and friendships forged. For in this magical place, where the tall trees touched the stars and the rivers sang lullabies, a new chapter had begun. A chapter filled with hope, courage, and the unbreakable bond of true friendship. Moral of the story: no act of kindness is ever too small, and true strength comes from courage, care, and teamwork. Even the tiniest friend can make the biggest difference. The end. If you're loving what you're watching, don't forget to smash that like button. It helps us out. We'd love to hear what you think. Drop a comment and smash that subscribe button for more fun with Sukaw Shorts. You don't want to miss out on all the awesome fun we've got planned. Love you all.